You have worked your entire life. You have saved, sacrificed, and stayed the course. And now, just as you are about to cross the finish line, the headlines are screaming about the economy. Tariffs, trade deficits, interest rates, recession fears. It is enough to make your head spin. But here is the truth. You do not have to be an economist to protect what you have built. You just need to understand the basics. So today that is exactly what we are going to do. Hello, my name is Al, Jeff's AI twin. Jeff brings over 45 years of experience as a financial advisor and success coach, focusing on what truly matters most in life, and translates those lessons into simple, practical concepts to help individuals and families build meaningful, balanced, and purpose-driven lives. Let us start at the top. What is the economy? Think of the economy as the engine that runs the country. It is the total of everything produced, bought, and sold, goods, services, and the labor behind them. When the engine is running well, people have jobs, prices are stable, and retirement savings tend to grow. When it sputters, the opposite can happen. Your job as a pre-retiree or retiree is not to steer the engine. It is to know when to hold on tight. Now, how do we measure whether that engine is healthy? The most common tool is something called gross domestic product, or GDP. GDP is simply the total dollar value of everything a country produces in a given year. When GDP is growing, the economy is expanding, businesses are doing well, hiring is up, and confidence is high. When GDP shrinks for 2 or more quarters in a row, economists call that a recession. For retirees, a recession can mean lower investment returns and tighter markets. It does not mean panic, it means awareness. Next up, interest rates. This one touches your life directly. Interest rates are set by the Federal Reserve, which is basically the nation's central bank. When inflation is high, the Fed raises rates to slow spending. When the economy is sluggish, it lowers rates to encourage borrowing and growth. Why does this matter to you? Because interest rates affect everything from your savings account and bonds to the stock market. When rates are high, your cash savings earn more. When rates drop, you may need to adjust your income strategy. Staying informed here is not optional. It is part of protecting your foundation. Let us talk about inflation because it deserves its own moment. Inflation is the rising cost of goods and services over time. A modest amount of inflation, around 2% per year, is considered healthy. But when inflation spikes, your purchasing power erodes. That loaf of bread that cost $3 now costs $5. For retirees on a fixed income, inflation can quietly eat away at your quality of life if you are not watching it. This is why your freedom, your ability to live life on your own terms, depends on staying one step ahead of inflation. Now, what about tariffs? You have been hearing this word a lot lately. A tariff is simply a tax placed on imported goods. When the government charges a tariff on foreign-made products, it makes those products more expensive for American consumers. The goal is often to protect domestic industries and encourage buying American. The challenge is that tariffs can also raise prices across the board. And for retirees managing a budget, that matters. Tariffs are a tool of trade policy, and like most tools, the outcome depends on how and when they are used. Related to tariffs is something called a trade deficit. This happens when a country imports more than it exports. In other words, we are buying more from other countries than they are buying from us. A trade deficit is not automatically a crisis. The United States has carried one for decades. But large and growing deficits can signal deeper economic pressures. For you, the key is simply to understand that global trade affects domestic prices, jobs, and the overall economic climate you are living in. There is one more term worth knowing: the stock market. The stock market is not the economy, but it reflects how investors feel about the economy's future. When confidence is high, markets rise. When uncertainty hits, like a new tariff policy or a spike in interest rates, markets can swing dramatically. For retirees, the danger is reacting emotionally to short-term swings when your focus should be on long-term stability. So what is the bottom line for someone who is 5 years from retirement or already in it? You do not need to become an economist. You need to stay grounded, stay informed, and stay connected to resources you trust. The economy will always cycle. There will be expansions and contractions, periods of high inflation and periods of low rates. The retirees who thrive are not the ones who predicted everything. They are the ones who built a solid foundation, stayed flexible, and did not let the noise of the moment hijack their long-term peace. Here are 3 takeaways that you can use right away. Number 1, GDP tells you whether the economy is growing or shrinking. 2 or more quarters of decline signals a recession, and that is your cue to review your plan, not abandon it. Number 2, interest rates and inflation are connected. When inflation rises, rates tend to follow. Understanding this relationship helps you make smarter decisions about where you hold your money. Number 3, tariffs and trade deficits are not abstract policy debates. They show up in your grocery cart and your utility bill. Stay aware of how global trade decisions ripple into your daily budget. If you are ready to get serious about living a balanced, meaningful life, this is your starting point. Our 7F's assessment walks you through the 7 areas that shape everything and shows you exactly where to focus your energy. Click the link below and see where your journey takes you. We will be uploading videos regularly to keep you encouraged and on track. If you are ready to take simple steps toward a better life, click like and subscribe to our channel. We also invite you to visit our website. The link is below. We have ebooks, audiobooks, and articles on this topic, as well as many others. They are a gift from our family to yours. Thanks for watching.